This is completely unreviewable trash, and here's why. Question: what is even the purpose of a music review in the first place?
Well, I mean, I can just say it right now. To review the music, I mean, it's pretty in the name. You listen to the songs and then you give your simple ass opinions on them.
Terms of my own intent, that when I do a music review, I hope to achieve a couple of things. One, give the viewer pause and cause them to think about why it is they do or don't like the piece of music or art that I'm doing an overview of. Or
I mean, you obviously did have a pause like that because you decided to sit down and make and edit a video on the album. So you can't just sit here and call it unreviewable when you are quite literally doing what you do for every other album.
two, excite people to give the music that I'm talking about a try. Those are the two things I want. Problem: neither of those goals are possible in any scenario. Two, give the viewer pause and cause them to think about why it is they do or don't like the piece of music or art that I'm doing an overview of. Or two, excite people to give the music that I'm talking about a try. Those are the two things I want to do. Problem: neither of those goals are possible in any scenario that involves reviewing this album. News.
I mean, I genuinely just think that's a lie. I mean, there's so many things you can talk about this album. I mean, if you're a Kanye hater, you can talk about how his wife's just naked in the picture. I mean, that's just one thing that I know you're going to critique already. But another thing is that it is Kanye's big comeback after, all the drama happened. That's another thing you can touch on. Very easy. And then number three, just the overall album itself. I mean, personally, I'm a Kanye West, like, I guess, fanboy, if you would call it, because I support his music highly. And via your terms, since I support his music highly, I'm a fanboy and meat writer, and I'm just crazy and all that. But anyways, I think the album's pretty good. There's a few misses, but overall it's a really good album. Not what my expectations were, but overall it's a really good album. But yeah, you're claiming there's nothing to speak on, yet there is so many things you can talk about on this album.
Flash: since 2022, Kanye has made it his mission to go full-on anti-Semite, spouting insane conspiracy theories, talking about how he loves Hitler, and at some point I think he realized how much he fucked up with all of that, so now he has to own this total dumpster fire he's created. And
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of changing, becoming a better person, owning up to your problems. I mean he's already done that. I'm not defending what he said. What he said was like really, and I mean really wrong. It was really messed up. But the guy is trying to own up and make up for his mistakes. Now, like I said, I'm not going to defend it. I mean, he verbally was, anti-Semitic. I mean, if it was in my opinion, if he physically did stuff, then it'd be different. It'd be unredeemable. But he said a few things while he was going through a lunatic phase, and I mean, the guy just got divorced from his wife, who was, publicly like taking shots at him, which I know you bring up later on in the video that he harassed her, which they both harassed each other, but we'll get to that later. It was just like a really bad time for Kanye, and he talked about that. He speaks on it. So if you did your research, you would know this. But I mean, he is trying to better himself. I mean, he's making his brand Yeezys more affordable for people that want to dress nice that can't afford it. And he's been spouting nothing but just positivity as of lately. So yes, he is very much trying to fix that dumpster fire that he caused. And for you to diss people for trying to do that is kind of stupid in my personal opinion. I think a lot of other people's.
Boast about how people think he's anti-Semitic now, because yeah, they do. Even if he does genuinely apologize and change his behavior past this point, his public image is forever altered by all of this. I mean,
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And like I said, I'm not going to defend what he said. It's just true, but I still feel like it's wrong that you don't give a man a second chance. Now, I know he's had like a, crazy past, he's messed up a lot in the past, but if a man is genuinely trying his best, or woman, whatever, if a person is genuinely trying their best to become a better person, for you to say that's impossible because of a mistake is so wrong. Now, it's also like factoring the mistakes. There's a lot of factors to it, but in this factor, this exact moment and what's going on, it is just stupid for you to try and claim that he just can't change and be a better person.
You platformed a booger-eating white supremacist and have guys like this repping for you on a highway overpass. This is not.
I mean, so many artists have stuff like that. I mean, I could give so much proof of just like, Taylor Swift fans that are crazy and cult-like. I mean, every artist is going to have a cult-like following, man. I mean, that's just how it happens. That's just what happens. If like people were going to support an artist like heavy, and there's always going to be cult-like followings. I mean, I'm sure you have your fair share of cult-like followings, that people that are going to be like, this video is so amazing, there's nothing wrong, and then you're going to have people like me that disagree with it. That's just how the world works. You're like really just nitpicking stuff that happens with every single celebrity.
Not a can of worms a guy like Kanye is capable of closing, not without help from someone who is willing to tell him no. But he spent this same period of time pushing away anybody who could possibly do that at this point, especially his wife, who he has now replaced with somebody who he just like kind of parades.
As you can see, it said ex-wife he mercilessly, or I can't say that word, I'm a bit of an idiot, harassed, yet there's so many times Kim took shots at him. Same with Pete Davidson, who was dating her at the time, and the public just take shots at them. So yeah, they was a very messy, divorce. They were both wrong on each side. They both took heavy shots at each other. But for you to not bring up what Kim Kardashian has done via taking shots at him is just very stupid. I mean, you're like a journalist nowadays. You will only report one side of the story. You won't give an equal side. But I don't expect you to, because, you're kind of known for just hating on Kanye. And yeah.
Around like she's a naked body with no personality, opinion, or voice. Something that on some level I think he's weirdly proud of, as on the very lyrics to this record, he calls her just a reference, which is...
Yeah, no, you can't really defend that line. I personally think it's a bit offensive. Now, my friend Kaiser says it should be taken as a compliment, because an artist having to reference something is like a big compliment, which I see both sides, so I'm kind of middle ground on that. But you forget his wife is a designer, and if you go back and look at a lot of her design for her old clothing, they are a lot similar to what she walks around in now. So personally, I don't think Kanye is dressing her, and I don't think a fashion designer would let her husband change what she wears because she has her own fashion company. But, I don't expect you to know these little things, Anthony.
Maybe one of the grossest and most dehumanizing things Kanye has said about a woman on any of his songs, and it's being directed at his wife. So that
is a big lie. Kanye said much, much worse and much more dehumanizing things about women. So, yeah.
trajectory Kanye has been on as of late has left him with an interesting mix of fans. One, hateful psychos that actually agree with some of the stuff that he's been saying and are actually in my Twitter mentions theorizing that I'm a Jew, and that's the reason I don't really like his recent music. Two, anonymous nihilistic teenagers that don't really think anything he says or does has any greater consequence in the world, and are most likely bored and lonely and will just defend Kanye because watching him unravel is more entertaining than most things, and I guess brings some kind of meaning to their otherwise meaningless lives. And three, cultish weirdos who parasocially obsess over him and everything he does and would basically follow him to the ends of the earth. Keep in mind, these individuals have always been in his fan base to some degree.
I mean, I guess you can try and say that, but like I've mentioned earlier, not only does every artist have these, I guess 3 sections as you would say it, but you can't factionalize and generalize an artist's fan base because not everyone is the same. So in my opinion, I think it's kind of wrong for you to try and generalize an artist's fan base, especially an artist that is as big as Kanye with I don't know how many, I think it's what, like 68 million monthly listeners right now, something like that. I know he's ranked the top 20 in the world right now, so you can't really generalize an artist like that's fan base. Like even with Taylor Swift, I don't mind Taylor Swift, but I hate her fan base. I hate the Swifties. Now I can't generalize that because there's so many Taylor Swift fans that aren't crazy like that. Every artist has its crazy fan base, and at the same time, you cannot generalize any artist's fan base. It's just stupid to do that and ignorant.
But prior, they were at least mixed in with genuine hip-hop heads. Now, these 3 types of people, and there is overlap between them in Kanye's fan base, don't want to hear anything critical about him at all, ever. They've openly rejected any...
I mean, if you do see this video, which I don't think you will, you're probably going to marginalize me in that, what you just said. But, I mean, you can try all you want, but I will openly admit Kanye does stupid stuff. I'll agree that Kanye does dumb things. Every artist does stupid stuff that's just wrong. But I feel like this is not even a album review. You didn't even try. You just took this chance to shit talk Kanye. You didn't even try and, make a review on this song. Now, if you did review the song, this video wouldn't be a thing. This video I'm making would not even be a thing right now. But you did not review the song. You just talked about Kanye and you shit talked him for 7 minutes and 3 seconds. So you just, next time, don't make this a album review video. Just make it a video of like why I don't like Kanye. You know, I mean, that just makes sense to me. You know.
Any good faith effort I've made to make them aware of Kanye's downward spiral into Nazi adjacent rhetoric and now imagery in the promotion of this record. The point is that,
my God, you're not the only one that's done that. I mean, you are not the only one that's done that.
there's no hope of having any level-headed conversation with somebody who is like deep into the Kanye fandom at this point. People,
Or have you not tried? That's my question. Have you not tried to have a conversation like that? Because in my opinion, via generalizing all the fans like that and saying stuff like this, you have not even tried to have a conversation with a fan like that. That's all I'm saying. I mean, this is like something I would say about Taylor Swift. I wouldn't even try to talk to a Taylor Swift fan because, you know, she's just going to meet right Taylor Swift and all this and that. I mean, it's like, if you don't try or even know, then don't really try and marginalize an opinion like that, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does at the same time.
who literally think anything and everything he does is great and will write off any bit of dissent as just being biased and unfair to him, as if he's Jesus Christ and can do no wrong. So,
Oh my God, did you really just try and bring that up? Yeah, Kanye has a line where he says that he's the new Jesus bitch. How many artists claim to be a god? I mean, come on, dude. It is 2024. How many artists have we had that claims that they are a god or just untouchable like a god? Even immortal, because gods are immortal. Even immortal. I mean, like, come on. This is just a Kanye hate nitpick video. It's stupid. I'm sorry. It just is. It's stupid.
yeah, there's no convincing them, which I will say is also the case for people who have left the Kanye reservation over the past several years, because there are a fair share of people who are validly pissed off about everything Kanye's been saying and doing recently and feel like it's totally beyond the pale. And even if this record was somehow good, what am I supposed to do? Tell the Jews in my audience, "Aw, come on, man, he didn't mean it. It's not so bad. He's just a little crazy, that's all." Especially since he
No, it's not your place to, defend him or attack him, in my opinion. As a music reviewer who makes music review videos, it's your job to review the song. I mean, I think a year or two ago, I don't know how long, I made a Flash movie review. And in the video, I clearly state that I will not use my dislikes towards Ezra Miller to affect the rating of this movie. Because, for a bit, I tried to do movie reviews and all of this. It did not work, but whatever. And I probably did a lot of those videos. But anyways, it as your job to do music reviews, it's not your job to talk about the artist itself, That's just my opinion. If you want to do that, then go ahead. But from what I've seen, most of your videos are just you reviewing the music itself. So as a music reviewer, you review the music and not the artist. Now, I mean, yeah, Kanye did wrong. I mean, there's no defending it. But for you to sit here and just insult him instead of review the music, it's just stupid and hypocritical. Is that the word? Just towards, I guess it's not hypocritical. Hypocritical is not the word, but it's just stupid because you haven't given me one review of the album. Mine is it's unlistenable or it's just bad. You usually go into depth, no? Which you have not done one time or even hinted towards in this video.
He's not doing anything to gain forgiveness. He is very apparently not sorry for anything he's been saying or doing.
That's a lie. I mean, multiple times Kanye has, apologized for what he's done, and he is actively spreading a lot of positivity and actively trying his best to become a better person. And it's people like you who don't allow that. It's people like you who just want to constantly hate on just any and every artist that the public does not like. And you do this so you can feed into like a big majority of people, which in my opinion is stupid and a bitch move.
And the apologies he has given aren't worth a lick of shit because he'll think,
I mean, I think that's just an opinion. I can't really disagree with that. It's just an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I disagree with that opinion, but it is your opinion. I can't really argue against that because, like I said, it is an opinion. But yeah, I just want to touch on that. I do kind of agree with him on this because, you can't really disagree with an opinion, but yet you can't. It's just really confusing when it comes to opinions. But yeah, that's his opinion.
Nothing of saying Jesus Christ, Hitler, yay, sponsor that, not too long after. Now, there are some people who will say, Anthony, you're being unfair here. Separate the art from the artist. Come on now. You can't separate this crap from the music because it's in the music. Look at the lyrics. Read these words. They have meaning and they are saying things that are not good or normal. You would have to expect me to separate my brain from my skull if you think I'm just going to ignore it. I think this comment here.
I do think that's a good point that Anthony's making, because it's exactly what I'm doing. But I think you fail to realize how ironic those lines are. I mean, like the "how my anti-Semitic I just fucked a Jewish bitch" vulture line was, I think, kind of a publicity thing via Kanye, and just I think an overall funny line, and it's a fire line. And the anti-Semi and "I'm still the king," that's just what people have been calling him, and yet he is still the king. And I forget what the other line was, because I'm not going to go back on this video, because I just couldn't be bothered. And yeah, no, you did make a good point of, oh, you have to separate the art from the artist, but in my opinion, as a music reviewer, I feel like you should review the music and not the artist. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, no, that's still a good point via Anthony.
Here pretty much sums things up. We don't care as long as the album is good. His personality and what he says doesn't matter to me. I only care about the music. How do you penetrate this level of self-imposed ignorance? This person...
How are you going to tell people how they should feel about music? I feel like trying to tell someone about how they should feel about music is very stupid. I mean, you not only are nitpicking one comment, unless you bring up multiple in the future, which then, yeah, you got me there, you know, fucking checkmate, whatever. You should not be telling people how to feel about music. That is not in your place. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess you can say the same about mine. Oh, confused. You shouldn't be telling him how he should feel about this. I'm not. I'm telling my opinion on this. It is my opinion that this man has made an awful video. I mean, like, yeah, I can agree with a lot of things he's made. The argumentative comments he's made about Kanye, you know, being anti-Semitic. Like, you can't disagree with that. There are factors like that that you just cannot simply disagree with because it is factual statements. But this is, like, very not only nitpicky, but also just stupid. Like, oh, you are just ignorant and you should feel this way. Don't fucking tell people how they should feel. Shut up. I mean, you get paid to do this. So just do this. Review the music. You know, and if you want to make videos ranting on him, sure. But don't try and make it a music review when you're ranting about the artist. And also at the same time, don't try and tell people how they should feel about music. Music, the whole thing about music is you take it how you want. Music is a whole cultural thing. You cannot section music into anything. Music is like a feeling and it's an emotion. It is so many things. And for you to try and sit there and tell someone how they should feel, and then, you know, I guess you didn't put them on blast because you blurred everything, which is, I respect that. But to try and say and then tell someone that, hey, you have to feel this way is just so stupid in my opinion.
Is not listening to Kanye. He's not listening to anything I or anyone has to say about Kanye. And this comment was posted after the album was released, so he's apparently not even listening to the content of the music that he supposedly cares so much about. So this argument about, I only care about the music, can't possibly be true, especially since...
But it can. You can't, like I said, you can't sit here and tell people how to feel. That's just not how it works. Like, Anthony, I'm sure if you do see this video and many other videos talking about how dumb this video that you made is, you're not going to change your opinion because it's your opinion and it's how you feel. I'm not making this to tell you how to feel. I'm making this to tell you how I feel or other people how I feel. I'm making this to get my opinions and feelings out. I'm not trying to change your opinion. I'm just simply disagreeing with you because I don't like this video and I'm going to do what I want and I'm going to disagree with you because I'm an asshole and that's how I roll, dog.
The music, too, is shit. The song Paid is one of the most unintentionally hilarious tracks I think Kanye has ever put out. It's just a crappier version of Fade. Why wouldn't you just listen to Fade? You'd have to be delusional to think anything else, especially with this trash-ass verse from Ye. And Ty Dolla $ign on it is just amazing, saying that he's just here to get paid. At least he's honest. Then back to me with...
Yeah, I was kind of cringy. I can't lie. No, yeah, you're right. Ty carried that song, and Ye's verse was not that good, which I totally agree with. But what I love about this album is that not one person carries. Every song it's altering for who carries, and I love that. And Paid is one of the best songs. I can't lie. It's definitely top 3 or 4 on there. I think best song is Carnival. Second best is probably Vultures. Third is Paid, and fourth is I forget the name of the one. It's the one with his daughter on it. So yeah, that's my take on the album. I like it. I like the album, but yeah, no, that I mean, finally we're getting into the actual music reviewing. So this might kind of destroy my whole argument I've made this whole time.
That Jay and Silent Bob chorus has to be one of the dumbest things I've heard on any Kanye album ever. I feel like I'm being punked. But naked, beautiful, big titty bitches don't just fly into the sky, you know. At least Freddie Gibbs somehow made it flow. But yeah, that dude is as good as he is at rapping. He cannot save this track. Then Hood Rat.
No, I like it. But obviously it's your opinion, so I'm glad that we're finally getting, after 5 minutes of ranting, was a very Kanye thing to do. Not gonna lie, but after 5 minutes ranting, we're finally getting into the actual music review. So I can't wait for this 2-minute abbreviation review of the album. Now I don't know if your videos are short. I don't really watch your videos that much. I'm sure they're shorter, but not 2 minutes short. So yeah, I'm excited to hear this. Also, I just want to point this out. The album cover in the back, it is pissing me off just how awful you green screened it. I think it's just a show of how much time you did not put into this video. So.
Has maybe one of the most excruciatingly bad instrumentals on any Kanye album ever. The mix is a mess, and God, those repetitions of herd rat, herd rat, herd rat, herd rat. I mean, I guess it kind of drowns out all the other stuff about the track, so that's kind of a silver lining. But almost
I agree with that, actually. I don't like Hood Rat at all. It is just an awful song, in my opinion. So yeah, I agree with you. We agree on this. We're homies on this one. Yeah, Hood Rat's an awful, repetitive song.
none of that matters because there is so little to praise with this record. And if Kanye's delusional fans are not hearing that this record is awful on its face as they just kind of listen to it by themselves, nothing I'm going to say is going to convince them. But
tell me, do you listen to albums by yourself, or do you always have someone with you? I mean, what's the point of throwing in the listen to this album by themselves? Which actually I didn't listen to this by myself. I listened to my best friend there, Kaiser. Check his channel out. Very cool guy, makes very good videos, very good easy reviews. So go ahead and check their Kaiser out. I'll link in the description below. So just again, the marginalizing, fan bases, it's just so cringe. And I'm sure you watch these, you listen to these albums with crowds of people around you, man. Like, you're never alone, right? Yeah, you record videos alone. So no, you obviously fucking listen to these albums alone, which I think is kind of stupid to point that out. But I mean, maybe it's just you being nitpicky, which is the same that I'm doing tonight, this video. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we're finally getting to the reviews of the music, which I don't agree, obviously, on your takes on this album already. But I agree on Hood Rat, so you know what? Back to that. We are cool on the Hood Rat agreement, but I think, like, every other song is really good, minus the last one.
But if you really want a general assessment of this thing, it sounds like a slightly more finished Donda 2. Somehow Jesus is King had more songs on it that sounded more cohesive, well put together, which is saying something because that was previously Kanye's shortest, messiest, most unhinged and crappy record yet. And somehow this surpassed it. And
Jesus King's a crappy record, yet it wins awards constantly. And I mean constantly. But that's your opinion. I'm not going to try and tell you otherwise. I can't really tell you other than, like, I like the album. I'm not going to go into depth on why I like all these Kanye albums, because it's not a video on that. But yeah, no. It's your opinion on the albums. You don't like them. I like them. So yeah, let's just agree to disagree.
At least in my mind, has achieved the status of being Kanye's worst album. And given that the sequel tends to be a step down from the original, in Kanye's case most of the time, the rest of the Vultures series from this point is not looking good. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you. Bye.
I disagree. I feel like Vultures has a very, high potential, seeing as, I think one of the songs is just blowing up right now. It already has like 20 million plays. So this is a very high, I don't know where I'm going, high chance, it has a big chance of becoming like a very massive album. And it won't, because it's Kanye. And they're not going to really play it, I don't think, at least. So yeah. Overall, I'm glad that he actually did, stick to his word and review the album. He didn't really go into depth. He went into depth on 3 songs. Wow, really good job, man. But it's more of just like the generalizing fan bases and just taking, blind nitpicky shots at Kanye. It's just stupid. And this would be for any artist, I just know this because there's a lot of hype around the Vultures album, and I was really hyped for it for like a year. So that's why I know this video. But any other artist, I would have probably made a video on. It's just really, really nitpicky and kind of stupid. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.